and cryptocurrencies. So today, in this very little time of 15 minutes, I'll try to show you the evolution path of cryptocurrency ecosystem. And of course, it will cover some basic milestones from the history of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology, but I mean, you can be comfortable that we will briefly discuss about the statistics, briefly discuss about indeed the numbers which are taking the snapshot of what's going on and maybe what will be the new hype in the ecosystem in the near future. So to start with, I will also make references to this slide at the end of my talk. I mean, you see and you hear lots of debates now, especially in these days, about the essential needs for Bitcoin, because for many people it was also described as a kind of hedge mechanism for inflation. And there was too much expectation about also the pricing of Bitcoin. People were expecting that since we are now in the inflationary times, oh, then Bitcoin's price should be actually much, much higher. But this slide, and actually the forthcoming one as well, together they show us the essential need for crypto, and also actually many fintech applications will stay there actually forever with an increasing need. Because this statistics shows us that, this is from BIS, Bank of International Settlements. I mean, and this is actually old still, but it shows that we have 1.7 million adult population in the world who are not in the banking system. This makes more sense when we see this. 2/3 of this 1.7 million people, they have their smartphones, which means that actually the population is somehow more digitalized than banked. So there are of course many reasons why this population is unbanked. I mean, some of the reasons are starting from a preference, but also some bureaucratic reasons, but also ineligibility to be in the banking system. So the need and the market, all for the crypto and for all digital systems, including fintech applications, is actually out there. And that is the main reason why actually, although many people are in panic mode right now, if the crypto is scam, if Bitcoin is dying, etc., I mean, they should focus on this instead. I mean, this statistics shows us that if Bitcoin were a company, it will be the 25th largest company in terms of its market cap. So that's why we discuss a lot about it. That's why we are here. That's why it is actually not an issue of, oh, is it dying or is it a scam or something like that. We are so far from that. We should focus on other things. And as you know, in the evolutionary path of the crypto ecosystem in 2015, things changed a lot, because although Bitcoin was focusing on like replacing the cash systems, Ethereum had another main idea. It was digitalizing kind of every business, starting from the banking system, of course. And as you know, this year now, proof of stake is the main thing for Ethereum, and you can easily check the numbers for staking rewards, etc. about Ethereum. And after Ethereum, like 3 years ago, we had a new movement, which is decentralized finance, as you know, and many people again know it through its staking APRs, yielding mechanisms, etc. But everyone should be also very careful that the motto of decentralized finance is striking enough. Because the motto of decentralized finance is this basically. Banks may not be needed, but banking system is actually needed. Which means, in other words, we don't need the banks, but we actually need the financial instruments, which can be transferred to the DeFi ecosystem throughout smart contracts without the need of any third parties. And this is one striking number for us. We now, considering that there are no third parties, there are no centralized stuff in decentralized finance, the total legal lot reached more than $40 billion. And 3 years ago, we were kind of talking about DeFi summer. Many people were interested in that. The hype was there. But then, of course, due to the volatilities, due to the also the hacking issues or exploits in the DeFi protocols, the numbers together with the market cap of cryptocurrencies in total, we had seen a decline. But things are seeming to change again, which in the end of the talk, we will show the new numbers and new results. But for the ones who are still not very well aware of it, please check these 5 protocols: MakerDAO, Lido, Aave, Uniswap, and Curve. So this is the change now. This is the locomotive of change actually. Of course, all of the other instruments that I will try to cover within the remaining 9 minutes, they are very important for the crypto ecosystem, but something else is going on. Without understanding what's going on in these protocols, actually you will be like without the light for understanding the future of the crypto ecosystem. And then, of course, we have seen NFTs, the rise of NFTs. Everyone talked about NFTs. It is quite important because many institutions, many firms, the actors from traditional finance, the monopolistic companies, everyone started to talk about NFTs. And it is surprising to note and to observe that sometimes they forgot that it is crypto as well. I mean, we have seen lots of statements from bureaucrats, from politicians, I mean, in line with this message: oh, crypto is risky, but NFTs are good. I mean, we are not very comfortably encouraging the usage of cryptocurrencies, but NFTs are different. I mean, come on, by definition, it is token, right? Non-fungible token. So it is good actually to start your journey to crypto system beginning from the NFTs, because maybe they are, since they are visual mainly, it is the assumption that visual things understood easier than the abstract stuff. Crypto is abstract in many sense, I admit that. It is complicated, especially the DeFi ecosystem. To understand it, to use the platform's protocols there, it requires some effort. On the other hand, for NFTs, things are much easier to get, use. Still, there are some barriers there for entry, but once you get it, I mean, we have seen the phenomena, we have seen the hype of NFTs. It still continues, probably together with the Facebook's effect, which I will also discuss briefly. After the metaverse, so many people just forgot about NFTs, and with the hype of metaverse, everyone was investing in metaverse without sometimes knowing why, right? And these numbers are showing us another stuff. As you see, the red one is about gaming. So this is important to understand again the evolutionary path of crypto, because gaming industry is on its own big enough and strong enough to change the world, to change and influence our preferences. It will be another presentation actually to understand the evolutionary path of the gaming industry, but I'm sure that all of you feel it at least, right? If you are not already playing those games. So I would say like the marriage of gaming industry with crypto is probably preparing the next hype or preparing the next movement in the crypto ecosystem, although it will not be just focused on NFTs as the numbers show us here. So then, so far we have discussed about the essentially decentralized systems, right? Crypto by definition should be decentralized. That's why I would like to emphasize the countries, central banks, digital currency projects with this emphasized phrase. They are digital currencies, they cannot be cryptocurrencies. So this is important distinction, but many people, especially from the traditional media, might be confused about the usage of these words, because they think that when the central banks arrange or prepare their digital currencies, it might be like a replacement of crypto. Not at all. I mean, it cannot be. They are not by definition in the crypto ecosystem. That is another ecosystem. I will just say that they are inspired by the cryptocurrencies and the communities and the people and the interest on that crypto. But of course, the traditional banking system, traditional monetary system should be updated. Since 2008, everyone actually knows that by heart. Because The biggest monopolies in the monetary system is by definition central banks, right? So the production of money, production of fiat currency, it cannot be decentralized as long as we are talking about fiat currencies. But it can be updated, it can be more dynamic, and that's why now this is the